The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Indiana Youth Coin is not just a piece of currency. It is a living story of growth, struggle, learning, and transformation. It represents not the famous Lincoln, not the president, not the leader of a nation, but the young boy who was still becoming who he was meant to be. This coin captures the most powerful phase of any human life, the formative years. The years when identity is shaped, character is built, and destiny begins to take form. This coin is not about power, it is about preparation, it is not about leadership, it is about learning, it is not about success, it is about struggle. The image of young Lincoln sitting and reading in Indiana is one of the most meaningful designs ever placed on American currency. It teaches that greatness begins in silence, that power begins in patience, that leadership begins in learning. Lincoln did not grow up in wealth, he did not grow up in comfort. He grew up in hardship, in poverty, in isolation, and in difficulty. And yet he grew up with books, with learning, with curiosity, with discipline. This coin teaches that education is not about buildings, it is not about classrooms, it is not about degrees, it is about hunger for knowledge, it is about desire to learn, it is about the will to grow. Indiana represents a turning point in Lincoln's life. It was in Indiana that his mind expanded, his thinking matured. His discipline formed, his character strengthened. He learned to read deeply, to think critically, to observe society, to understand people, to reflect on justice and fairness. The coin captures that silent transformation. It shows a boy who is not famous yet, not powerful yet, not known yet, but becoming. This is one of the most powerful educational messages ever put on money. It teaches young people that success does not start with applause, it starts with effort, it starts with discipline. It starts with learning in silence. It starts when no one is watching, it starts in ordinary moments. This coin teaches that greatness is built, not born. The year 2009 marks 200 years since Lincoln's birth, but this design does not glorify his presidency. It honors his preparation. That is a powerful lesson. It tells the world that leadership is not created at the top. It is created at the bottom. It is created in childhood, in youth, in learning, in struggle. In effort, in patience, in discipline, this coin is education in metal. It teaches that knowledge is the real power, that books are stronger than weapons, that learning is stronger than force, that education shapes destiny. The log cabin behind him reminds us of poverty, but the book in his hand reminds us of possibility. This contrast is powerful. It teaches that your environment does not define your future. Your mindset does, your effort does, your discipline does, your values do. This coin teaches hope. It teaches resilience. It teaches perseverance. It teaches self-belief. It teaches that background does not limit destiny. The Indiana Youth Coin also teaches the importance of silence and focus. Lincoln is not playing, he is not distracted, he is not chasing attention, he is learning. In a world full of noise, this image teaches focus, it teaches patience, it teaches discipline, it teaches long-term thinking, it teaches delayed success, it teaches preparation before performance. This is a deep educational message for modern society. It tells young people that real success comes from preparation, not shortcuts, from discipline, not distraction, from effort, not excuses. The coin also teaches national values. It shows what America believes in, not wealth, not luxury, not power, but education, learning, growth, character, discipline, opportunity, equality. The fact that this design is on national currency means the nation itself is saying that learning matters. That growth matters, that youth matters, that education matters, that preparation matters. This coin is a national message to future generations. The 2009 Indiana Youth Penny also teaches social mobility. Lincoln rose from poverty to presidency. This teaches that society can change lives, that systems can allow growth, that opportunity can exist, that effort can lead to transformation. This coin becomes a symbol of the American dream, not the dream of wealth, but the dream of growth. The dream of learning, the dream of becoming better, the dream of rising through knowledge. The coin also teaches humility. Lincoln is not shown in luxury, he is not shown in fine clothing, he is shown as a simple boy. This teaches that greatness does not require status, it requires values, it requires discipline, it requires integrity, it requires effort. The Indiana Youth Coin teaches emotional education. It shows loneliness, focus, determination, and quiet strength. It shows a young mind building itself. It shows inner growth, it shows silent struggle, it shows mental discipline, it teaches that inner development is as important as external success. The coin also teaches generational education. Parents see this coin and remember struggle. Children see this coin and see possibility. Teachers see this coin and see learning. This coin speaks to all generations differently but powerfully. It becomes a bridge between age groups, between past and future. Between history and today, this coin is not just a collector's item. It is a teaching tool, a classroom symbol, a motivational message, a story of growth, a lesson in discipline, a symbol of hope, a reminder of purpose, a reflection of values. The Indiana Youth Coin proves that education is not just in schools, it is in symbols, it is in stories, it is in culture, it is in design, it is in everyday objects. It teaches that even money can educate, even coins can teach. Even small objects can carry big lessons. This coin tells every young person watching this video, you are not behind, you are not late, you are not small, you are becoming. Growth takes time, learning takes time, success takes time, greatness takes time, preparation takes time. Lincoln was once unknown, he was once poor, he was once struggling, he was once learning in silence, and that silence created a leader. This coin teaches patience, it teaches faith in process, it teaches trust in growth. It teaches belief in effort. The 2009 Indiana Youth Lincoln Bicentennial Coin is not just a coin. It is a message to the world, a message to youth, a message to students, a message to dreamers, a message to builders, a message to learners, a message to future leaders. It says learn first, grow first, build first, prepare first, then lead, then rise, then succeed, then change the world. This coin is not about money. It is about meaning, not about value, but values, not about rarity. But relevance, not about collecting, but connecting, connecting past to future, connecting struggle to success, connecting learning to leadership, connecting youth to destiny. The Indiana Youth Coin is a reminder that every great story starts small, every leader starts unknown, every success starts in silence, every future is built in the present, and that is why this coin is one of the most powerful educational designs ever created in American history. The design of the 1970 D. Lincoln penny is not simply artistic, it is intentional, it is symbolic, it is educational. Every line, curve, and detail on this coin exists for a reason. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front is not meant to glorify power, it is meant to preserve values. Lincoln's face on the penny is one of the most recognized images in American culture, not because he was powerful, but because he represented moral leadership. He represented honesty, resilience, unity, learning, and sacrifice. His presence on the coin teaches that leadership is not about control but responsibility, not about authority but service, not about dominance but integrity. This design turns money into moral education. It makes values visible, it makes ethics tangible, it makes leadership a daily reminder in people's hands. The design of Lincoln is calm, balanced, thoughtful. There is no aggression, no intimidation. No dominance. This teaches emotional intelligence, it teaches restraint, it teaches stability, it teaches wisdom. This coin teaches that real leadership is quiet, strong, steady, grounded. The reverse design showing the Lincoln Memorial is equally powerful. The memorial is not a symbol of luxury or wealth, it is a symbol of remembrance, respect, and national memory. It represents unity after division, healing after conflict, stability after chaos. The memorial teaches that societies honor those who serve with integrity. It teaches that history is preserved through memory. It teaches that values are preserved through symbols. This design makes the coin a portable monument, a moving memorial, a traveling classroom. The 1970 D penny carries this design into homes, schools, shops, markets, and communities. It spreads national values through daily life. The copper era of American pennies is one of the most important educational chapters in U.S. monetary history. The 1970 D penny belongs to a time when pennies were made primarily of copper. This teaches material education. Copper is not just a metal, it is a resource, it has value, it has industrial importance, it has economic significance. Students learn that currency is connected to natural resources, that money is not just symbolic, it is physical. It is material, it is scientific, it is engineered. The copper penny teaches resource management, it teaches sustainability, it teaches adaptation, it teaches that societies must balance cost, availability, and function. Later changes in penny composition show how economic pressures influence design. This coin becomes a lesson in economic adaptation. The copper era also teaches durability. Copper pennies last longer, they resist corrosion, they survive decades of circulation. This teaches engineering principles, material science, longevity, design efficiency. Students can learn how governments design currency for long-term use, how systems are built for durability, how materials are selected for performance. The copper penny also teaches historical authenticity. It represents a time before modern cost-cutting measures, a time when material value and symbolic value were closely connected. This teaches economic history. It shows how inflation, production cost, and resource availability influence monetary systems. The Lincoln legacy is one of the most powerful educational elements of this coin. Lincoln was not just a president, he was a symbol of growth through learning. He was largely self-educated. He read constantly, he studied deeply, he learned through discipline, he believed knowledge creates freedom. His presence on the penny teaches intellectual education. It teaches that learning builds leadership. That knowledge builds independence, that education builds democracy. This coin becomes a daily reminder that learning matters, that education matters, that growth matters. The Lincoln design also teaches national identity. It shows what a nation chooses to honor. America chose to honor learning, honesty, and unity, not conquest, not wealth, not power. This teaches cultural values. It shows what society respects, what society preserves, what society remembers. The 1970 D penny teaches cultural continuity. The Lincoln design connects generations. Parents recognize it, grandparents recognize it, children recognize it. This continuity creates shared identity, shared memory, shared culture, shared meaning. The design teaches generational connection. It teaches that symbols preserve values across time. The coin also teaches visual education, design language, symbolism, minimalism, balance, proportion. Students can learn how design communicates meaning, how simplicity can carry deep messages, how visual elements teach values, how design influences perception. The penny becomes a design lesson, an art lesson, a communication lesson. The 1970 D penny also teaches technological history. Minting technology in 1970 represented precision engineering, mass production, quality control, standardization. Students can learn how industrial systems produce national currency, how machines shape coins, how systems ensure trust, how national production systems function. The coin becomes a lesson in industrial history. The copper era also teaches labor history. Miners, engineers, factory workers, transport workers, and distribution systems all played a role in bringing this coin into circulation. This teaches economic networks, supply chains, human systems, labor systems, cooperation. Organization. The penny becomes a symbol of collective effort, collective labor, shared responsibility. The 1970 penny teaches philosophical education. It teaches that value is not only in money, it is in meaning, that worth is not only in price, it is in purpose, that importance is not only in rarity, it is in impact. The penny may be small, but its lessons are large. It teaches humility, that small things matter, that systems are built from small parts. That progress is built through accumulation, that success is built through consistency. The Lincoln legacy also teaches moral courage. Lincoln led during division, during war, during national crisis. His image on the penny teaches resilience, strength through ethics, leadership through compassion, unity through value. This coin becomes a moral symbol, a reminder of responsibility, a reminder of service, a reminder of integrity. The copper penny era teaches economic memory. It reminds people of a time when money had physical weight, material presence, tangible value. This teaches economic psychology. It shows how people perceive money differently based on material. The 1970 penny also teaches time. What was once new becomes old. What was once common becomes collectible. What was once daily life becomes history. This teaches students that history is not distant, it is living, it is happening now, it is being created every day. Today's objects become tomorrow's artifacts. The 1970 Lincoln penny's design, material, and symbolism transform it into an educational object. A teaching tool, a classroom artifact, a cultural symbol, a historical lesson, a moral reminder, a design example, a scientific example, an economic lesson, a social lesson, a philosophical lesson. It teaches that education exists everywhere, in objects, in systems, in symbols, in daily life, in culture, in history. The coin proves that learning is not only in schools, it is in society, it is in design, it is in money, it is in everyday experience. And through its design, its copper composition, and its Lincoln legacy, the 1970 penny becomes more than a coin. It becomes a teacher, a storyteller, a symbol, a lesson, a legacy. The 1970 Lincoln penny did not exist in isolation. It lived inside a decade of transformation. The 1970s were a period of change, uncertainty, adaptation, and evolution. Society was shifting, values were evolving, culture was transforming, economies were adjusting. And through all of this movement, the penny remained a constant presence in daily life. This coin moved through hands during a time when the world felt unstable, but everyday systems continued to function. This teaches a powerful lesson. Stability is built through continuity. Even in times of change, shared systems keep societies together. The early 1970s were marked by economic challenges. Inflation was rising, the cost of living was increasing, oil crises affected global markets, prices were changing rapidly, families felt pressure, yet people still went to work, children still went to school, businesses still operated, and the penny remained part of daily transactions. This teaches economic resilience, it teaches adaptation, it teaches survival through systems. The penny became a symbol of everyday stability in an unstable world. The 1970 penny passed through grocery stores, corner shops, gas stations, school cafeterias, buses, vending machines, arcades, libraries, churches, and homes. It was part of routine life. This teaches social history. It shows how money connects daily experiences, how shared currency creates shared culture, how systems unify communities. The penny was not just money. It was part of rituals, allowances, piggy banks, school fundraisers, charity drives, collections, candy stores, ice cream trucks. This coin becomes a symbol of childhood memory, generational experience, cultural nostalgia. The 1970s were also a time of cultural change. Music evolved, fashion evolved, media evolved, youth culture grew stronger, education systems expanded, social movements reshaped identity. And yet the penny stayed the same. This teaches cultural continuity. It teaches that some symbols remain stable while culture changes. This coin becomes a cultural anchor, a constant in a changing world. The 1970 penny also teaches family economics. Families use pennies for budgeting, saving, teaching children about money, teaching responsibility, teaching patience, teaching discipline. This coin was part of parenting, part of education, part of moral teaching. It helped teach children the value of money not as wealth but as responsibility. The penny taught accumulation. It taught that small amounts add up, that progress happens slowly, that saving is built through consistency. This is deep financial education. The penny also teaches work culture. Workers earned pennies, spent pennies, saved pennies, gave pennies. This coin passed through hands of factory workers, teachers, farmers, shopkeepers, drivers, students, and laborers. It connects all classes, all professions, all communities. This teaches social equality, shared systems, shared participation, shared economy. The 1970s were also a time of global tension. Cold War politics shaped global identity. Fear and uncertainty were part of the global atmosphere, and yet daily life continued. The penny becomes a symbol of normalcy, of routine, of stability. It teaches psychological resilience. It shows how societies continue functioning despite fear and uncertainty. It teaches that everyday systems create emotional stability. The penny also teaches trust. People trusted the system, trusted the currency, trusted the value. This trust creates social stability. The penny becomes a symbol of social trust. The 1970 penny also teaches community. It moved through neighborhoods, small towns, big cities, rural areas, urban centers. It connected people. It created shared experiences. It created common ground. This teaches social cohesion. Shared identity, collective memory. The coin also teaches consumer culture. The 1970s were a time of expanding consumer markets, more products, more services, more advertising, more spending, and the penny was part of that system. It shows how money fuels markets, how currency supports commerce, how economic systems grow. The penny also teaches generational memory. People who grew up in the 1970s remember pennies in their childhood, in school, in shops, in homes. In collections, this creates nostalgia, emotional connection, cultural memory. The coin becomes a memory object, a memory trigger, a bridge to the past. The 1970 penny teaches time. What was daily life becomes history. What was routine becomes memory. What was normal becomes nostalgic. This teaches that history is not just in museums, it is in memory, it is in experiences, it is in everyday life. The penny also teaches adaptability. As prices rose, the value of the penny changed. Its purchasing power decreased, but it remained part of the system. This teaches economic adaptation. It teaches that systems evolve, that value changes, that meaning transforms. The penny becomes a lesson in economic change. The 1970 penny also teaches humility. It is small, simple, common, and yet essential. It teaches that small things matter, that simple things matter, that ordinary things shape life. This is a deep philosophical lesson. The penny teaches that greatness is built from small parts, that societies are built from small actions, that systems are built from simple units. The coin also teaches patience. It moves slowly through circulation, it accumulates slowly in savings, it builds slowly in collections. This teaches long-term thinking, it teaches consistency, it teaches discipline. The 1970 penny also teaches identity. Reflects American values of simplicity, access, equality, and participation. It shows a culture that values shared systems, shared symbols, shared responsibility. The coin becomes a reflection of national character. The 1970 penny teaches that daily life is history, that routine is culture, that ordinary moments become memory, that simple objects carry deep meaning, that systems shape society, that money shapes behavior, that values shape design, that culture shapes currency. This coin becomes a living lesson in social studies. Economics, history, civics, culture, psychology, philosophy, education. The penny is not just a coin, it is a witness, a participant, a connector, a teacher, a memory carrier, a cultural artifact. It teaches that society is not built by great events alone but by everyday actions, by daily routines, by shared systems, by simple objects, by small coins. And through the life of the 1970 Lincoln penny in the 1970s, we learn that history is not only written in books, it is lived in daily life. It is held in hands, it is passed through communities, it is carried in pockets, it is saved in jars, it is remembered in hearts, and that is what makes this coin not just a piece of metal but a piece of lived history. The 1970 Lincoln penny may not be rare in numbers, but in education, meaning, and collector importance, it holds a powerful place. Collecting is not just about rarity, it is about understanding, it is about preservation, it is about history, it is about memory, it is about meaning. True collectors do not only chase price, they chase stories, they chase knowledge, they chase context, they chase legacy. And this coin becomes a perfect teacher for that philosophy. The 1970 penny teaches that value is layered. There is face value, there is market value, there is historical value, there is cultural value, there is educational value, there is emotional value, there is generational value. Most people only see face value, collectors see layers. This coin teaches that not all value is measured in money. Some value is measured in meaning, some value is measured in memory, some value is measured in knowledge, some value is measured in history. Preservation is the first true lesson of collecting. A preserved coin is a preserved story. Every scratch removes part of history, every mark changes the narrative, every condition change alters the legacy. This teaches responsibility, it teaches care, it teaches respect for artifacts, it teaches that objects deserve protection because they carry memory. Preservation teaches patience, it teaches discipline, it teaches long-term thinking, it teaches future responsibility. The 1970 penny becomes a training tool for young collectors. It teaches how to handle coins, how to store them, how to protect them, how to respect them, how to understand them, how to research them, how to document them. This coin teaches collector ethics, respect for history, respect for artifacts, respect for cultural objects. The concept of value logic is one of the most important lessons this coin teaches. Many people think value comes only from rarity. Value also comes from condition, demand, history, symbolism, and education. A common coin in perfect condition becomes valuable. A common coin with historical context becomes meaningful. A common coin with cultural impact becomes important. This teaches layered value systems. The 1970 penny teaches grading education. Collectors learn about condition levels, about wear, about luster, about strike quality, about surface preservation, about oxidation, about patina. About tunning, this becomes a scientific process, a learning process, a classification system. It teaches observation skill, analysis skills, attention to detail, precision thinking. The coin also teaches documentation, cataloging, classification, research, record keeping. This teaches academic discipline, organization, structure, methodology. It turns collecting into education, into study, into research, into learning. The 1970 penny also teaches historical preservation. When a collector preserves this coin, they preserve a piece of the 1970s, a piece of society, a piece of daily life, a piece of culture, a piece of memory. This transforms collecting into historical archiving. It becomes preservation of heritage. The penny teaches generational preservation. Parents pass collections to children. Grandparents pass collections to grandchildren. This teaches continuity, legacy, family memory, cultural inheritance. Collecting becomes storytelling across generations. The coin also teaches economic logic. Market value changes over time. Demand changes, interest changes, generational focus changes. This teaches market dynamics, supply and demand, cultural interest cycles, collector psychology. The 1970 penny teaches patience in collecting. Not every coin becomes valuable quickly. Some coins gain meaning slowly, over decades, over generations. This teaches long-term vision. Strategic thinking, future planning. The coin also teaches emotional value. A penny saved by a child, a penny collected by a parent, a penny inherited from a grandparent. These emotional connections create priceless value. This teaches that not all value is financial, some value is emotional, some is sentimental, some is symbolic. The coin teaches memory preservation. It becomes a memory object, a personal artifact, a family symbol, a childhood reminder. This emotional dimension is a core part of collecting. The 1970 penny also teaches research education. Collectors learn about mints, about history, about production numbers, about mint marks, about errors, about varieties, about compositions, about design changes, about era. This transforms collecting into learning, into scholarship, into research, into education. It teaches curiosity, it teaches investigation, it teaches discovery. The penny also teaches discipline. Collecting requires organization, care, patience, structure, consistency. This builds character, responsibility, order, focus, long-term thinking. These are life skills. The 1970 penny teaches ethical collecting, not exploiting history, not damaging artifacts, not destroying context, but preserving meaning, preserving integrity, preserving stories. Collecting becomes stewardship, guardianship of history. The coin also teaches accessibility. Anyone can start collecting. It is not an elite hobby. It is inclusive, it is open, it is accessible. This teaches equality, shared access to history, shared access to learning, shared access to culture. The penny teaches community. Collectors connect, share knowledge, share stories, share discoveries. This builds networks, learning communities, cultural communities, educational communities. The 1970 penny also teaches time perspective. What is common today may be rare tomorrow. What is ignored today may be valued tomorrow. This teaches foresight, vision, long-term awareness, historical thinking. The coin teaches respect for ordinary objects. It teaches that everyday items can become historical artifacts, that daily life becomes history, that routine becomes legacy, that common becomes meaningful. This changes how people view the world. It builds awareness, appreciation, respect. The 1970 Lincoln penny becomes a teacher of value logic. It teaches that value is not only in money. It is in meaning, not only in price but in purpose, not only in rarity but in relevance, not only in demand but in depth, not only in market but in memory. It teaches that true collectors are not just buyers, they are historians, archivists, educators, preservers, storytellers, guardians of memory, protectors of heritage. The 1970 penny transforms collecting from a hobby into a mission. From accumulation into preservation, from possession into responsibility, from objects into stories, from metal into memory, from coins into culture. It teaches that collecting is not about owning history. It is about protecting it, preserving it, respecting it, passing it forward. And through collector education, preservation principles, and value logic, the 1970 Lincoln penny becomes not just a coin, but a lesson in stewardship, responsibility, and legacy.